Alrighty. I think I made it on time. Just 1 minute before the actual starting time. So let's see how this thing goes. It's gonna be an 18-hour long session. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I promise it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna spin off my tech right now. There's quite a bunch of things that I'm about to do and give you guys a little bit of a tour of my hotel room, and then we'll start. So let's start from that tour. This is my setup. You can see like how big of a table I found in this hotel room. I was assuming that there will be quite a lot of space, but this is where I will be broadcasting this whole thing for the next 18 hours. And this is a nice hotel. It has a nice river view, but I don't need that river view. What I need is a lot of space, especially a lot of desk space. So another stupid thing that happened, I was too late. I came here and I locked myself out. I had to go back to the reception and get the key. So everything happened like literally last minute. And what is right now the problem is this. Let me show you guys what is the current problem. When I press a space bar, command space, the launch pad does not load. I just restarted my computer, don't know what happened, but we're gonna see that and fix it as we go. I'm gonna quickly keep an eye on. Show you guys what is the current problem. Okay, the voice is good. Press a space bar, command space. I see that 10 people are watching. 15, nice. Numbers should go up anytime soon. And what we're going to build is simple, very simple. We're going to spend 18 hours doing only those two things: n8n and vibe coding, nothing else. We're going to build a full-fledged application. I'll explain what is the application that we're going to build now. Since the command space is not working, all my shortcut keys are down, so I'm going to bring them up like one by one. This is not an educational content. This is not tutorial. This is not a workshop. It's basically an extremely detailed build session. So it's literally building with n8n and vibe coding. This is what it is. Please do not expect to learn anything from this because I'll be super, super fast. What I want to build in these 18 hours is very simple. I'll quickly go and check this out for you guys. Let me see how good the front camera looks. Otherwise, then I'll just go without any camera. Yeah, it looks very bad, especially if I put it like this. All right, so what we're going to build is, I'm just gonna remove it. I have this podcast, this n8n podcast. But what happens is that when I make these podcast videos, they're usually super big. So I'll show you one of the ones that I still have on my computer. This is 7 GB, and this is a podcast that I just did it without multi-camera setup. I usually have a multi-camera setup. And also this is only 29 minutes, but usually my podcasts are 1 hour. So eventually it gets to something around 20 GB of data. And in this whiteboard, I'll explain what am I going to build in these 18 hours. So what happens is on my MacBook, for example, this is my MacBook. I have a 20 GB data setting here in .mov format, or MP4, doesn't matter, but really big data. So let's say it's episode 17.mp4. and it is 20 GBs of data. Now, there are solutions for doing this. For example, the one that I'm using or use it a couple of times and I've stopped using is called Opus. With Opus, you can take like these big format videos and then you can put it in an Opus, and then it creates multiple short videos from that. Now, my challenge is, and the internet is gone. Let me keep an eye on the internet to make sure that you guys get enough good speed. There might be a glitch. I'm switching it to my iPhone. Everything that I do in the context of my automation, my, what do you call it? Short reel automation. What I want to have is take this recording that I have done with my friend Jonas, and I just put it in here. And we are talking about building a chess game with n8n that is performing much better than ChatGPT, vanilla ChatGPT UI. And I'm touching AI agents, and I'm touching the concepts of like these memories, not only the simple memory, but I'm extending it with data tables and so on. During these 30 minutes, there's a lot of cool shorts of 60 seconds, 90 seconds, or maybe 30 seconds that I could sit down and then go through this video and then capture those little moments. For example, what we could do is like have this on one side of the screen and then have, for example, this much on in the bottom of the screen. If you put both of them on the top of each other, it could turn out to be something like a short, like the shorts that you see from Opus. So that's what we are going to build. And the challenge I have is if I am using Opus here, so the Opus website or the cloud will take a lot of time for me to upload this. I don't want to spend uploading this time, or I don't want to do any cutting on my end. So the uploading is the challenge. It's uploading 20 GBs of data per episode. So that's the big challenge I'm trying to resolve. The architecture I have in mind is something like this. Inside my Docker, inside my MacBook, I will have a Docker container. I have some boilerplates that I can show you guys in a minute. So this Docker container will run n8n inside it. So there will be an n8n instance running here. We'll see it in just a minute. And then we'll have ffmpeg running inside my MacBook. And we'll have Whisper running inside my MacBook. The reason that I want to have ffmpeg and Whisper inside my MacBook, there was a good reason. I did some proof of concepts I'll walk you guys through in just a minute. And then the reason I'm running the Docker in here, it also has some reason. And then the entire automation will run here, but through SSH, we will connect to do all the ffmpeg and Whisper tasks from inside the Docker container. One of the good reasons is that then we can have access inside our ffmpeg and inside our Whisper, we can have access to this big data right away inside the Docker, inside the ffmpeg, without any complications of mounting files and so on, and also without any issues of uploading. So the entire project itself is anyways reducing the need for uploading the file to Opus or any cloud, for the matter of fact. And this little SSH thing will have access to both Whisper and ffmpeg off the shelf. Like literally, it's at the desk, same desktop, same computer, and that's how it would work. So, and then since this particular folder is mounted inside this Docker container, so basically this is entirely accessible here for whatever automation we are doing. Inside this n8n, this entire file is already available. So that's the entire concept. That I run my ffmpeg and Whisper inside the MacBook. I have a very tiny Docker container that's running the entire show inside the automation layer, and then everything else happens outside on my MacBook. And then the product of this is literally just a few short reels that is generated from this 20 GB data. So the outcome of this automation is the short reels that we generate. That's pretty much the whole concept. We have huge amount of data. This is a totally local hosted system, and we run FmpEg and Whisper locally, n8n locally as well. The reason we run n8n locally is for one reason, if we need to load files here. But we can also do this not locally. Perhaps we'll change our mind and do it outside. So if we do it outside, the only thing that will change is that these files might end up in a cloud platform. So let me actually do this by preserving this architecture here. So this is one potential avenue we can take. If the local n8n instance give me too much of a headache, then we can do it this way. We can have this running on the n8n cloud, our entire n8n workflows. The clips will end up in, well, actually they can be in here. The 20 GB file does not need to go in outside. Everything will happen through SSH. So this will be another SSH command that will be executing from inside the workflow. The only difference here will be that we'll be running this entire show inside the n8n cloud. This is one potential way to go. It's just the same container, we just take it out. But there isn't any huge amount of data mounting happening inside the cloud or the container where n8n is running. There's one challenge in the proof of concepts that I have been working on, which is file storage. Like when I start writing some files from here to the MacBook, it fails. If we fail to do that, or vice versa, if I take a file and then put it here using the file, what is it called? The file read and write node, then it fails. So in those cases, maybe we need to kind of like take the option 2. So just deleting this. This was just for the representation. So we have these two options. We have option 1, that we do everything online. I mean, on our device. Option 2, if that didn't work, then option 2 is to go on the cloud. All right. So let's get started. I have my, let's run my Docker. Again, command space is not running. I don't know without that how do I do that. So let's go here. And then once Docker daemon starts running, I'll bring my my terminal in here. What I need for my terminal is, oh, it's still, yeah, it's running, but I will give you guys a quick demo of what did I do already. So I have this little command spaces again, not running cursor. It'll be spending a lot of time in cursor and in Claude code and in n8n, obviously. So I've done some small proof of concepts. Let me open this one. So it's this one. And then we will take it from there one step at a time. So what I have here is a very simple, none of my shortcuts work. Command Shift. Okay. So what is this doing? It's basically mounting, it's just a simple Docker Compose file that mounts an n8n instance. It's exposing it to this localhost 3344 so that I can remember. It also allows us temporary folder videos. This is the folder where we'll be putting our videos, these large videos. So let's go there. I have this that do not have any videos at the moment. I will put some videos there in just a sec. And then we have these volumes mounted, the n8n data. I want to expose it back, and well, this is not needed because I was experimenting it with downloads folder, didn't work. And apparently this is only needed for one SSH reason that I'll explain in just a second. And the SSH root is this one, or the URL for that is this. So if I go to localhost 3344, I see this n8n instance running on my localhost. And in here, I can create certain workflows that I have created this sample node just to make the point, that have access to Whisper and FFmpeg right away. But this Whisper and this FFmpeg is running inside my computer. So it's this n8n workflow that's accessing these two projects in here. So, and it's just basically done with a simple SSH connection with a private key and public key set in my computer. I'll go through that as well, just for those of you who don't know how to build it. Anyway, so if I execute this right now, well, I don't have any of those files anymore. I will quickly create that file. So let's see where I have. Okay, it's not sure why it's not there. It used to be there. Did I remove everything when I restarted? Okay, never mind. We'll get some files anyways. I need to run some experiments, but and so is the case with FFmpeg because it's also looking for that tiny file. All right, then let's make that tiny file. I'm gonna run quick time player. The reason I'm making it tiny is because we will need to run it 1,000 times. I don't want to run it